hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Today we are going to be training some skills. We're going to be training some skills today. I was thinking of training some woodcutting a little bit of woodcutting. A little bit of woodcutting. Here in the Barbarian Outpost, there are some willow trees. So I was going to train some woodcutting and a little bit of fire making. And while we do so, we're going to go ahead and read some wiki articles. So it'll be a little bit of training and a little bit of reading the wiki. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this screen a little bit smaller so you can see both screens at the same time. Alright, sorry, my mom was calling. She's at the stores right now. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do it like this. This is much better. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do some woodcutting, and I'm going to read random articles on the wiki page. And we're gonna learn a little bit more about the game together because I've been wanting to do this idea, but I wanted to implement it in a way that I can also be training at the same time. So this works out great. So before we get started, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. So let's get started and start chopping this willow tree. Now the first article that we are given is called Kandarin Headgear. Kandarin Headgear is a members only item received as a reward for completing the Kandarin Diary. Kandarin Headgear may refer to Kandarin Headgear 1 from the Easy Task set. So let's go ahead and click that one so we can learn more about it. Now, Kandarin Headgear 1 is a reward from completing the easy Kandarin Diary tasks given by the Wedge outside of Camelot Castle and can be retrieved from him for free if lost. Its stats are identical to an Iron Med Helm. Benefits: when worn, extra logs when cutting normal trees anywhere. No additional experience. When worn or in inventory, functions as a light source. Always, even when not in inventory. The Flax Keeper will exchange 30 noted flax daily for 30 noted bowstrings, so you don't have to string them yourself. That's a pretty good deal. Coal trucks hold 140 coal and 5% more marks of grace on Sears Village rooftop course. That is pretty good. Now the Kandarin Headgear 2 is a reward from completing the medium Kandarin Diary tasks given by the Wedge outside of Camelot Castle and can be retrieved from him for free if lost. Its stats are identical to that of a steel medhelm. The headgear does not need to be worn in order to gain more marks of grace or exchange flags. From Kandarin Headgear 1, it has all those stats, and then it's got Kandarin Headgear 2 only. 10% extra experience when cutting maple trees in Sears Village. 33% faster spinning at the Sears Village spinning wheel. The Flax Keeper will exchange 60 noted flax daily for 60 noted bowstrings. The coal trucks will hold up to 240 coal. 10% more marks of grace from the Sears Village rooftop course, and 5% higher yield from the Gatherby herb patch. enchant battle staves for 30k rather than 40k. The Flaxkeeper will exchange 120 noted flax daily for 120 noted bowstring. That is really good for fletching. I might have to do that. Coal trucks hold 308 coal. Option to move Camelot teleport to just outside of Sears Village Bank. 15% more marks of grace from the Sears Village Bank. Let's go over here and fire make these logs really quickly. 1 free teleport to Sherlock every day. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming it has to do with clues. 10% more reward points from Barbarian Assault. 10% increase to the activation chance for special effects from enchanted bolts. This bonus stacks additively with other bonuses like the Armadillo Crossbow's special attack. For example, if a bolt has a 10% chance of activating naturally, then after completing the hard diary, the chance will become 11%. However, if using another bonus, such as the Armadillo Crossbow special attack, it would become 21%. As of 16th April 2015, you no longer need to equip the headgear for this effect, and you get a 100% higher yield from the Gather Bee Herb patch. That is a really good statistic to know. Now, for the last headgear number 4. Headgear 4 is a reward obtained after completing the Elite Kandarin Diary and speaking to the Wedge in Camelot. It has identical stats to a Mithril Medhelm. It looks really cool. Thormak will enchant battle staves for 20k rather than 30 or 40k. The Flaxkeeper will exchange 250 noted flax daily for 250 noted bowstring. The first 200 coal placed in trucks every day are transported to your bank. That is really, really good. Unlimited teleports to Sherlock. 50% discount from Auto when converting Zamarakian spears into Haste. And 15% higher yield from the Gatherby Herb patch. So, a 115% higher yield total. Now, that was a really, really good article. Let's give us another random page. Headless. Headless may refer to one of the following: headless arrow, an arrow shaft with feathers. Let's read about that one first. A headless arrow is used in fletching to make arrows, attaching 15 feathers to the 15 arrow shafts, requiring 1 fletching, yielding 15 fletching experience and 15 headless arrows. 15 arrow tips can be attached to headless arrows to make arrows. There are several item spawns of headless arrows in the Scorpion Pit, deep in the wilderness. These are the different types of arrows you can make with headless arrows: adamant arrows, amethyst arrows, broad arrows, bronze arrows, dragon arrows, iron arrows, mithril arrows, rune arrows, and steel arrows. You can get these headless arrows from 4 different sources of NPCs or items in the game: an Armadillian guard, a Pandosian guard, a spiritual ranger, or a broken arrow from a chest. And also also spawns in the scorpion pit in the wilderness. And this is what they look like on the ground. We got a bird's nest from the tree. Really, really lucky. I wonder what kind of seeds are in there. We will find out. I think at this, right now I've been holding on to all the bird's nests in my bank to open them all up at the same time, because usually they have tree seeds in them and I cannot plant trees yet. So I was gonna wait until I got level 15, which I believe is the first level that you can start planting trees. Alright, let's finish this inventory real quick. And then we can move on to the next article to read. I think the wiki is such a great resource to have. I learn so much on it all the time. That's how I learned a majority of my RS3 knowledge. I really appreciate all the people that have put the information on that website together. Back to woodcutting now. Alright. Arrowheads from the Varrock Museum cannot be attached to headless arrows. That is a good statistic to know. Headless Head, a Halloween event reward. The Headless Head is a holiday reward received from completing a Halloween event from 2020 onwards. This item can be stored in the toy box of a costume room. That looks really cool. I wonder if they'll have that this year. Headless Beast, a quest boss and getting ahead. The Headless Beast is a headless undead bear encountered during the Getting Ahead quest. It was resurrected by the inexperienced necromancer Nalian Redmark. The Headless Beast attacks mainly with melee. It is... Hold on. I'm gonna move my microphone over this way because the wiki articles are on the other monitor and it's really hard to read with my head slanted over. It has a special attack where it slams the ground, causing a rock to fall from the ceiling onto the player's current location, dealing 12 to 16 damage. This can easily be avoided simply by moving one tile away in any direction. Immune to movement inhibitors from ice spells, bind, snare, and entangle. The Headless Beast can be easily defeated by using the small body of water as a safe spot to kill it with ranged magic or a halberd. After it is slain, cowhides no longer appear in the Headless Beast's cave. It can be fought in the Nightmare Zone after the quest is complete. It drops big bones. It can also drop a long bone and a curved bone. Now, the stronger variant fought within the Nightmare Zone is the same article. Let's find another random page. Colonel Jake O'Neill is a semi-retired Temple Knight residing in Witchhaven. He still works with the Temple Knights and helps the player to investigate Witchhaven during the Slug Menace quest. At the end of the quest, he is possessed by a sea slug and has been ordered to be killed on sight. He later disappears from Witchhaven, leaving behind only his chair. That's so sad. Like most White and Temple Knights, his name is a play on words, in this case, colonial. His name could also refer to Colonel Jack O'Neill from the Stargate series. Stargate TV series, whose main villains, parasitic slug-like aliens known as Gold, possess human hosts much like the sea slugs possess the people of Witchhaven. After the Slugman's quest, nothing is left of O'Neill except his chair. Previously, the chair was still shown as a yellow dot on the minimap, but this was removed in a hidden update. However, his chair still has a yellow label. The color of his shirt strangely changes after his possession. Interesting. That was very useful information. Let us get another random page. Fountain is used in Ernest the Chicken Quest and is located outside Trainer Manor in the southwest corner. During the quest, a pressure gauge can be found inside the fountain. However, it is guarded by piranhas that are inside the fountain, and in order to obtain the pressure gauge, players must kill the piranhas by using poisoned fish food on the fountain. This is what it used to look like from 2004 to 2005, and then it changed to this from 2005 to 2006, and then it changed to this from 2006 to present. I don't know why my characters started walking that way, but that was some pretty useful information. Now let's find another random page. The Ring of Endurance, Uncharged, is a discontinued item that was released with Sins of the Father. Like the real Ring of Endurance, it could originally be obtained as a reward from the Hallowed Sepulchre. Don't know what that is. For unknown reasons, a new Ring of Endurance Uncharged was added to the game after release. The original ring was discontinued and was made untradeable. This briefly led to a glitch where the players who had the original ring were unable to trade it. The ring also has an activate option, which presumably converts it to the new ring. It may still exist in-game for any players who have not yet converted it into the new ring, making it a rare example of a discontinued item in old-school RuneScape. That is very interesting. I don't know what the Sins of the Father quest is, but I'm sure I will do it at some point. Now that was some pretty useful information. Let us go to another random page. Bloodrune NC. Bloodrune NC is a Nightmare Zone exclusive version of a blood rune. They spawn on the ground if either the Dagonoth Mother or Galatnoth Mother is present in the Nightmare Zone session, as their combat mechanics require the use of all 4 types of elemental spells to damage them. As with all items with the NZ suffix, they cannot be taken outside of the Nightmare Zone, and if discarded, they can be retrieved from the same place it spawned. Runes with the NZ suffix cannot be used to cast non-combat spells, except for Bones to Bananas and Bones to Peaches, and all spells cast have heavily reduced magic experience, though this does not apply to experience gained from damage dealt. Now that was some pretty useful information. Let us go to another random page. Globe Space is a hotspot in the study of a player-owned house that is visible to the player when in building mode. You can make a globe at level 41, which requires 3 oak planks and yields 180 experience. An ornamental globe at level 50 with 3 teak planks, which yields 270 experience. A lunar globe at level 59 with 3 teak 570 experience. A celestial globe at level 68 with 3 tick blinks and a gold leaf, which yields 570 experience. The armillary sphere at level 77 with 2 mahogany planks, 2 gold leaves, 4 steel bars, which yields 960 experience. A small orrery at level 86 with 3 mahogany planks and 3 gold leaves, which yield 1320 experience. A large orrery at level 95 with 3 mahogany planks, 5 gold leaves, which yields 1420 experience. Now that was some really useful information. Let's go to another random page. A silver speedrun trophy is an item that can be claimed from Eliza by beating the silver speedrun time for all available quests in the quest speedrunning game mode. Should a new quest be released for speedrunning, the trophy will be unequipped and the player cannot equip it until the new quest is completed. If the player's inventory is full, the trophy will be banked instead. If the player's inventory and bank are full, the trophy will be destroyed with the chat box message appearing upon login. Some new quests have been made available on speedrunning worlds. As such, the speedrun trophy you had equipped has been destroyed. You can obtain another from Eliza in Varrock Square. It has different combat styles and weapon styles that you can use to attack with it. Pound, pummel, and block are the different combat styles available. I had no idea that there were quest speedrunning worlds, and that was even an option. That's really cool. Not my thing though, because I don't like quests, but it is a really cool option for some players that love questing and speedruns. Alright. Let us finish burning these logs. I think in one of the past episodes I read that you need 50 firemaking to start Wintertodt. So that is why I'm burning these, just to get to level 50, and then I think I might do an episode where I am learning more about Wintertodt and trying it out myself. I'm very nervous and excited about it because I don't know anything about it, but I've heard it's really fast at level 99, so... Alright. Let's find a new random page. Red marionette. A red marionette head and torso was used in the 2014 Christmas event. It could be made using a red marionette torso on the crate that held red marionette heads in Diango's workshop. If used with the crate that held red marionette arms, it would become red marionette arms. When completed and strung, the marionette can be placed inside a puppet box to be handed over to the bearded stranger at Taverley Gate. I actually participated in this Christmas event, which is crazy to think that it was in 2014, like 9 years ago. I was 20 years old. Okay, that was some very useful information. Now let's go to another random page. May 14th is the date in the Gregorian calendar. In Killianor, the date is equivalent to 25 Raktuber, and it's got community and game updates on this day. I'm not going to read these because I'm sure these have been updated and stuff like that. to another random page. Rough Wall. The Rough Wall is an agility obstacle found within the Trainer Village rooftop course. An agility level of 10 is required to pass the obstacle, which will then grant the player 5 agility experience. 5 agility experience. Let's go to another random page. Herbivore. The herbivore is a creature that players can capture with 80 hunter and 31 herblore, granting upwards of 1950 hunter experience. It can be caught by first tracking down footsteps left across Fossil Island until reaching a point where the footsteps enter a burrow. Players can then kick the burrow, causing the herbivore to appear and get stunned just outside the hole. Players may then use secateurs or magic secateurs to harvest between 1 and 3 herbs off the herbivore's back before it flees. Using magic secateurs will allow players to harvest an additional herb compared to the regular secateurs. This additional herb will provide no additional herblore experience. It is on Fossil Island. I went to Fossil Island during the leagues, but I don't remember how to get there. To begin tracking an herbivore, inspect the rock, mushroom, or log next to the hunter icon on the minimap. There are a total of 5 spots where you can start. Continue by inspecting seaweed, rocks, muddy patches, and mushrooms around the area to find more tracks until a tunnel containing an herbivore is revealed. Attack this tunnel and harvest the appearing herbivore. Additionally, the player has a chance to fail at tracking down the creature. When this occurs, a message will appear in the chat box stating, "The creature has successfully confused you with its tracks, leading you around in circles. You'll need to start again." Warning: the herbivore will disappear if a new track is started before collecting its herbs. Notes: since only the beginning step of tracking an herbivore requires 80 hunter potions and spicy stews can be used to temporarily boost from level 77 or 75 respectively. However, doing so will grant less experience as it scales on the base hunter level of the player. The Ring of Pursuit's effect cannot be used to track herbivores. It is advised to bring an herb sack to reduce the amount of banking. Alternatively, the tool leprechaun next to the hardwood tree patches can be used to note them. The graceful outfit is valuable when hunting herbivores due to its stamina regenerating properties while inspecting objects while tracking the herbivore. Stamina potions will significantly increase the amount of herbivores that can be caught per hour, since there will be a lot of running at all times. The Ring of Endurance is very valuable for hunting herbivores, as it will effectively halve the inventory slots used for stamina potions and reduce the energy drain. Guaranteed tracks. Alright. There are a few instances in which the player will always find the next part of the track by inspecting the same object every time. When the spot is approached from the south, the path will always continue at the smelly mushroom. C. When the spot is approached from the west, the path will always continue at the muddy patch. D. When this spot is approached from the west, the path will always continue at the muddy patch. E. When the spot is approached from the north, the path will always continue at the smelly mushroom. F. When this spot is approached from the east, the path will always continue at the smelly mushroom. And they're talking about this map here, by the way. G. When this spot is approached from the north, the path will always continue at the smelly mushroom. H. When this spot is approached from the north, the path will always continue at the northeastern seaweed. H. When this spot is approached from the east, the path will always continue at the southwestern seaweed. I. When this spot is approached from the east, the path will always continue at the muddy patch if this was the first part of the track. When this spot is approached from the south, the path will always continue at the muddy patch. I. When this spot is approached from the west, the path will always continue at the smelly mushroom. An inspection of the herbivore's trail can grant 50 experience and occasionally gives numalite or unidentified fossils. Once the player attacks the tunnel at the end of a trail, the herbivore appears, and hunter experience is gained depending on the player's hunter level. After the herbivore appears, it can be harvested requiring at least level 31 herblore. Experience gained from attacking the tunnel at the end of the trail scales depending on the base hunter level of the player. The base value granted is 1950 experience at 80 hunter, with 30 additional experience gained per hunter level above 80 until level 94. Strangely, 15 additional experience per hunter level at 95. Afterwards, 19 additional experience is gained per level from 95 to 99. Harvesting from the herbivore earns the player experience, herbs, and a chance to obtain the pet Herbie. The amount of herbs picked is a random number from 1 to 3 and can be increased to 2 to 4 if magic executors are equipped. For each herb picked except for the first, 25 herblore experience is granted. An average of 59 to 56 herbivores can be got per hour while using stamina potions. This makes the experience rates at level 80 somewhere between 115 to 128,000, only increasing as hunter level increases. A considerably lower number will be got per hour if not using stamina potions, but due to the amount of running required, a weight of 0 kg or lower is highly recommended. As well as the herb sack, since fossils weigh a bit, it is recommended to store them occasionally in the storage box by the mycelium pool. And here is a chart for how much experience you get per level, up to 99. Loot. Expect to have an average of 2.56 trail inspection rolls per herbivore. For the fossil table, the quality of herbs dropped by the herbivore are determined by the player's herblore level. Some low-level herbs disappear from the drop table entirely at a certain herblore level, while other high-level herbs require a certain level in herb red threshold to be included in the drop table. See the table below for ranges. Toadflax is the only herb that is not dropped at all. The probability of receiving Renar weeds or other higher-tiered herbs scales with herblore level. Quantity of herbs dropped does not scale with levels, and the farming cape does not yield any benefits for harvesting herbivore. They drop Guam, Marentil, Daramin, Harlander, Renar, Irrit, Aventos, Gawarms, Snapdragon, Catentine, Landodime, Dwarfweed, and Darstals. Now, Herbie looks like an herbivore. Herbie is a pet from hunting, obtained from hunting herbivores the same time, a message in the chat box will state, "You have a funny feeling like you're being followed." However, if a player receives a pet while having a follower out, for example, a cat, it will be placed in their inventory. When this occurs, the message in the chat box will instead state, "You feel something weird sneaking into your backpack." If a player's inventory is full and they have a follower already, they will not receive the pet, but must instead be claimed from Probita in East Arty for a reclaim token, which costs 1 million coins. On death, if the player loses their pet as a follower or in your inventory, it will wander around the area for 30 seconds before despawning. If the player returns in time, the pet cannot be picked up. Even if the player returns in time, the pet cannot be picked up and can be reclaimed from Probita for a reclaim token. That sucks. That sucks. Right. Teak drawers. The teak drawers can be built in the wardrobe space of the bedroom in a player-owned house. It requires 51 construction to build, and when built, it gives 180 experience. The player must have a hammer and a saw in their inventory to build it. Players can change their shoe color, hand, and sleeve type for free using the drawers. And it requires 2 teak planks. To be honest with you, I never really used things like this in the player-owned house. I've only ever built them and then destroyed them and built them again for experience, you know. But the only thing I've ever actually used is the costume box or the toy box, I think, for clue rewards on RS3. I'm not sure if the old school equivalent is the same, but that's pretty much, in the aquarium as well. But when it comes to building things like this, I never really used them that much. So let's go ahead and find another random page. Ceresian, I don't know how to say that, is an attribute assigned to monsters that reside in the chambers of Zarek. I don't really know much about this, and this makes me think of the Wintertodt. I want to learn more about Wintertodt, so let's educate ourselves. Since we will soon be able to go there, we're almost 50 fire making, so let's go ahead and learn more about it. Wintertodt is a mini-game style boss that is fought using skills rather than combat. It is located in the northern tundras of Great Korend, bringing a storm of perpetual winter and unfathomable cold. According to the lookout, it is unclear what the Wintertodt actually is, but its ability to alter the weather to extremely low temperatures has earned it notoriety among the people of Great Korend. Players must assist pyromancers, a special group of Arceus mages, to keep the Wintertodt at bay. As servants of the sacred flame, only they know the spells required to subdue the Wintertodt, so they are heavily relied upon in the defense of Great Korend. While their magical abilities are extraordinary, their skills in other areas are limited, thus require assistance from skilled adventurers. In order to help subdue the Wintertodt, players are required to have at least level 50 firemaking. Favor in any of the cities of Great Korend is not required. Skill levels in herblore, fletching, woodcutting, and construction do not affect the speed of their related activities at all. However, higher levels grant more experience. Okay, so good to know. We're going to be getting herb, fletching, woodcutting, and construction XP as well as firemaking. The Wintertodt is considered to be a boss, not a minigame, and dying here is unsafe. The normal rules for loss of items applies, and hardcore Ironman will will lose their hardcore status if they die here. Alright, let's scroll down. History. While it is not clear what the Wintertodt is, there are multiple theories by various people in the Wintertodt camp. Ignacia believes it to be an evil spirit. Ish, the navigator, believes it felt the power of the Dark Altar and attacked Great Korend to seek it, while Undor believes it is be a powerful fire spirit. Well, if it's a powerful fire spirit, why is it cold all the time, right? During the second decade, 1400 years ago, the Wintertodt, known back then as the Winter Beast, ravaged the lands north of Korend, causing them to experience perpetual winter, with livestock and crops freezing. It continued to ravage the northern Tundras for another 3 decades, with Great Korend's attempts to subdue it unsuccessful. On 1778, 1360 years ago, fearing the Winter Beast might eventually ravage the kingdom, Lord Arceus I ordered the construction of the Arceus Library, filled with texts, documents, and research from all cities, in order to preserve the history of Great Korend. Meanwhile, the most important texts were stored in the Library Historical Archive, a repurposed chamber of the Tower of Magic, for further study and additional protection. On 1748, 1340 years ago, a master Lovakenge smith named Dine formulated a plan to defeat the Winter Beast. Meeting with the Order of the Sacred Flame, Dine believed that the roots of the Burma tree, a magical tree lying within the heart of the northern tundras, can emit the heat required to subdue the Winter Beast. Dinah proposed to construct a large prison in which to lure the beast in and seal it with a large set of doors made from various materials, including lovakite and bark from the Burma tree, with enchantments placed by the order, with Lord Lovakenge II approving of the plans. The prison's construction was completed 800 days later, with known casualties of 16 order members and 2 scouts. On 2548-7, after 5 decades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the Winter Beast was successfully imprisoned and sealed behind the doors of Dinah, with Lord Lovakenge II declaring the day as Winter's End. Over 1,000 years later, the doors have begun to fail due to being damaged by someone or something creating a hole in the doors. Due to this, the Wintertodt has been drawing a small amount of power into the prison. The hole is fixed by Undor during the Forsaken Tower quest after being given Dinah's hammer. Okay, spoilers, but that's okay. Despite this, the doors were already damaged for such a time that the Wintertodt has already gained a lot of power, and Undor believes that it will be many years before things return to normal. It is later revealed in A Kingdom Divided that the doors were sabotaged by one of the pyromancers sent to subdue the Winter Beast, with collusion from Zamfir, Zarek's closest ally. It is not known what interested Zamfir, but during the quest, the Tassakal created a shielding potion for the adventurer to apply to the doors to prevent further damage. Getting there are 2 main methods for traveling to the Wintertodt. These options ordered from fast to slow. Oh my gosh, my stomach. There are 2 main methods for traveling to Wintertodt. These options ordered from fast to slow are: players can reach the camp via Games Necklace, provided they already have taken Vios' ship to Great Korend once. Alternatively, players can also use the fairy ring code CIS after paying 80,000 coins to Trosa and walking west along the path. Requirements. Level 50 firemaking is required to participate in the Wintertodt fight. Completion of Druidic ritual is required to pick Burma herbs, which are then used to create rejuvenation potions. Owning a player-owned house is required to gain construction experience from repairing broken braziers. Fighting the Wintertodt. The Wintertodt cannot be attacked by conventional combat. Instead, players must help the pyromancers drain its energy by maintaining the braziers around the prison. To do this, players must chop the roots of the Burma tree found near the braziers to obtain Burma roots, or Bruma. Sorry, I keep saying Burma. It's Bruma. Optionally, fletch them with a knife into more potent Bruma kindling, then add them to the braziers. Upon entering the doors of Dinah, players can take supplies provided by the pyromancers from crates, bronze axes, hammers, knives, tinderboxes, and unfinished rejuvenation potions. The Wintertodt will periodically cause players to take damage due to its seeping cold, and will occasionally send snowstorms that damage all players in their vicinity, and can also damage pyromancers and destroy braziers. Players can repair destroyed braziers with a hammer. The pyromancers do not have a lot of health and will usually be incapacitated after taking 3 hits from the Wintertodt. If the pyromancer falls to 0 health, it will be unable to damage the Wintertodt, and once the brazier goes out, it cannot be relit until players heal the pyromancer. They can be healed by giving them a dose of rejuvenation potion. The potion is made by using a Buruma herb found by picking sprouting roots east and west of the prison on the rejuvenation potion unfinished, which is found in the crates upon entering the doors of Dinah. Completion of Druidic ritual is required to pick the herb and create the potion. Damaging the Wintertodt. The Wintertodt will get weakened by the power of the Bruma flames that are channeled by the pyromancers. Thus, it is important to keep the braziers lit and the pyromancers in good condition for the duration of the fight. The braziers can be lit with a tinderbox or a Bruma torch, after which the flames have to get refueled by adding Bruma roots or Bruma kindling. Bruma roots can be obtained by chopping the Bruma roots, which are located close to each brazier. Players can choose to fletch the Bruma roots into Bruma kindling. Doing so will require a knife. The Wintertodt attacks will occasionally damage the brazier and the pyromancer. When broken, the brazier can be repaired with a hammer. When injured, a pyromancer can be healed with a rejuvenation potion. Wintertot's attacks. Alright. The Wintertodt uses 3 different types of attacks during the fight. 1. Standard attack. All individual players will take periodic, mostly random damage. This damage will usually be taken about every 10 to 20 seconds, but can rarely strike multiple times in a row relatively rapidly, making it hard to heal without adequate food. The frequency of this attack lessens if it is at least 3 braziers are maintained, and if the Wintertot's remaining energy is lower. Number 2. Brazier attack. Braziers will shatter when clusters of snow fall on them. A player standing next to a brazier when it shatters will take the same amount of damage as if the snow had fallen on them. This can be avoided by watching for falling snowflakes above the brazier, which appear shortly before the attack hits. Area attack. Snow will occasionally fall in random 3x3 spaces, which can be easily avoided by watching for clusters of falling snowflakes. If not avoided, it will deal roughly double the damage done from the periodic effect. If snow falls on a brazier, it will shatter. If it falls on a pyromancer, they will take damage. Throughout the fight, the player will also take intermittent passive damage as the cold of Wintertodt begins to seep into their bones. The damage taken is based on the player's total hit points and fire-making levels, and is drastically reduced while wearing warm or winter-themed clothing to a minimum of around 10 to 15% of the player's hit points level. Throughout the fight, already read that, a minimum of 4 of these warm items need to be equipped in order to receive the best possible protection. Ironmen can use parts of the Glue Hunter outfit and a Staff of Fire to add up to 4 total pieces until they acquire pieces of the Pyromancer outfit. The following formulas can be used to determine the amount of damage taken, rounded down. Players can also use this damage calculator. So let's click on this damage calculator and see how much damage I would take at my level of 33 right now. My fire making level is 39. 33. Let's just do this. Oh, let's just hit 50 then. Alright, so the standard attack, I will take about 10 damage. And the brazier attack, I'll take about 13. And the area attack, I could take 10 damage. Alright. So there is that. HUD. Upon entering the Wintertodt area, a HUD will appear in the top left of the screen. There are several icons on the HUD. Okay, several. Unlit fire. The brazier has not yet been lit. Lit fire. The brazier has been lit. Crafting icon. The brazier has been damaged and needs to be repaired. Red magic hat. The pyromancer at the brazier has been incapacitated and needs to be healed. Rewards. The rewards for defeating the Wintertodt are based on the player's reward points acquired throughout the fight. Players must collect a minimum of 500 points in order to be rewarded for their efforts. The reward will consist of a supply crate and fire-making experience. 100 times the player's level in fire-making. Oh wow. So if I'm level 50, 50 times 100 is 5k. Not bad. Okay. A supply crate will give a minimum of 2 loots on the reward table. Points above 500 will go towards extra reward rolls. A guaranteed extra roll is given for every 500 points. The X leftover points give an X over 500 chance of an extra reward roll. So 1200 gives either 3 rolls at a 60% chance or 4 rolls at a 40% chance. Lighting braziers. Gives 25 points. Okay, so the most points. So we get 25 points for lighting braziers, 10 points for adding bruma roots to a brazier, 25 for adding bruma kindling, 25 for repairing destroyed braziers, and 30 for healing. So you want to prioritize healing and then lighting braziers and repairing braziers. Alright, experience rates. Skilling activities that contribute to subduing the Wintertodt grant experience in the corresponding skill according to the following list. Lighting a brazier, 6 times the player's fire-making level. Cutting a bruma root, 0.3 times the player's woodcutting level. Feeding a bruma root to a brazier, 3 times the player's fire-making level. Feeding Fletching a bruma root into a bruma kindling, 0.6 times player's fletching level. Feeding a bruma kindling into a brazier, 3.8 times the player's fire-making level. Fixing a broken brazier, 4 times a player's construction level, provided they already own a player-owned house. Picking a bruma herb, 0.1 times player's farming level. Creating a rejuvenation potion, 0.1 times a player's herblore level. Subduing the Wintertodt with at least 500 points earned, 100 times the player's fire-making level. Players will also gain up to 2,000 experience in construction an hour at level 99 construction from fixing the brazier, scaling proportionally to the player's construction level. A player will need to subdue the Wintertodt around 670 times. To achieve 99 firemaking using bruma kindling, based on a player's earning 500 points per kill. Experience not fletching bruma roots. That gives the XP per hour. And then experience fletching bruma roots. There we go. So it's really good firemaking XP then. Rewards. Here we go. Succeeding in subduing the Wintertodt will reward players with firemaking experience, as well as a supply crate, which is obtained by earning at least 500 points during the fight. The crate will initially have 2 rewards inside. Every 500 additional points will guarantee an extra reward. Additional points over 500 threshold will give a skilled percentage chance for an extra reward. For example, 750 points would guarantee 2 rewards, plus a 50% chance of getting a third. A player's skill level. The player's skill levels will determine the rewards the player gets. High-level players will get rarer rewards, with lower level rewards becoming less common. The higher the player's level in that skill is. At the highest point, low-leveled rewards are removed from the drop table. While players with low levels in those skills can get rare rewards, the drop rate is very low. According to Mod Ash, the ore, herb, fish, uncut gem, seed drops, and logs are based on the player's herblore, mining, fishing. Hold on, I messed up. Crafting, farming, and woodcutting levels, respectively, at the time of opening the crates. So it's not when you get them, it's when you open them. Alright. The drops that you can get are the Pyromancer outfit, the Bruma torch, warm gloves, a dome of fire, a burnt page, a phoenix pet, a dragon axe, logs, gems, ores, herbs, seeds, fish, and other. I wonder what this is. And this. I'll read that in a minute. There are combat achievements as well. So we have the Novice achievement, which is to subdue Wintertodt 5 times. The Handyman achievement, which is to repair a brazier which has been destroyed by the Wintertodt. The Cozy achievement, which is to subdue the Wintertodt with 4 pieces of warm equipment equipped. The Mummy achievement, which is to heal a pyromancer after they have fallen. The Leaving No One Behind achievement, which is to subdue the Wintertodt without any of the pyromancers falling. The Can We Fix It achievement, which is to subdue the Wintertodt without allowing all 4 braziers to be broken at the same time. The Wintertodt Champion achievement, which is to subdue the Wintertodt 10 times, and the Y Fletch achievement, which is to subdue the Wintertodt after earning 3,000 or more points. Okay, now let's read about the Brumatorch. The Brumatorch is a possible reward from a supply crate, which is obtained from subduing the Wintertodt. This item can be restored in the magic wardrobe of a costume room. When worn during the Wintertodt boss fight, it acts as a warm clothing item as well as a replacement for the usual tinderbox. Around the game world, the torch acts as a light source that can be equipped. It has no possibility of triggering explosions that can hit the player for 12 damage in the Lumbridge swamp caves. In addition, it can be used to smoke deadfall traps, which is a hunter thing, I believe, yes, for Kebbits and maniacal monkeys. Players can trade in Bruma torches for an extra supply crate or 50 burnt pages via insignia. It's insignia, but the I and the N and the G are flipped. If a player has 3 Bruma torches in their bank and or inventory, opening supply crates will give a Torstal seed, when it would have given another torch. Currently, the Grand Exchange price of 50 burnt pages is 104,150 GB, and the price of a Torstal seed is 10,031. Sorry, my stomach keeps growling. It is generally more beneficial to exchange spare torches for 50 burnt pages unless you're an Iron Man who wishes to receive Torstal seeds. Alright, now I want to read more about burnt pages then. Dome of Fire. The Dome of Fire is a book held in place of a shield that is a possible reward from a supply crate, which is obtained from subduing the Wintertodt. The Dome of Fire requires level 50 magic to wield. The dome is only tradable when empty. When it's empty, its only function is its magic attack and magic defense equipment bonuses. The dome can be charged with burnt pages, with each page adding 20 charges to the dome at the cost of 104 GB per charge. It can hold 1,000 pages, costing 2,083,000 GB. Pages can be removed from the dome, but if one or more charges are used from the page will be entirely consumed upon removal. So, 20 charges at 1,000 pages is 20,000 charges, okay? Casting fire spells with a charged dome equipped will increase the spell's damage by 50%, multiplicative with magic damage bonus from equipment, and consume 1 charge per spell, so you can cast 20,000 spells with a fully charged book. Dome. The bonus applies to only the standard spellbook fire spells: Fire Strike, Fire Bolt, Fire Blast, Fire Wave, and Fire Surge. Other spells such as Iban Blast, Flames of Zamorak, Undead Grasp, Demon Bane, and Smoke spells, and any non-combat spells do not benefit from the bonus and do not consume any charges. Good to know. So only on normal spellbook. Empty tomes can be traded in for 250 burnt pages, a value of 500,000 coins, by speaking to Ignicia. This item counts as a warm item at the Wintertodt. And then it's got all the different methods that you should use this in, like for fighting bosses and stuff. Good to know. 42 fire making, alright. So now the burn page is gonna be the same in information. Now I wanna know more about the warm equipment. Where was it? Here, warm or winter themed clothing. Santa outfit. have any of these. Anti-Santa. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? The bunny outfit, the glue hunter outfit, hunter gear. I think I can buy this stuff from Barak. The bomber jacket, which is from Gnome Restaurant, I think. Yak hide, which you can buy in. Oh my gosh, what's the place name? Yatiso or not? Yeah, it is not. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's Yatiso. The chicken outfit, the evil chicken outfit. That's funny. And then these, I have this one. I have the Santa hat. I don't have. I used to have these on my old account, my old first account. I had these jester stuff. Fire making stuff, obsidian stuff, and then staves. Volcanic abyssal whip, a lit bug lantern, Halloween or Christmas jumper, Halloween jumper. I don't have any of these. I used to have the woolly and the Trigester hat too. I wonder what year this was in, that when it first came out. $2005, oh my gosh. So that means I would have gotten it in 2005. I was 12. So yeah, that was the year I got it. Wow, that's so long ago. Okay, so basically there are things that I could use, that I could just buy. I don't have to worry about it. There is a strategy guide that I could use as well. So that is very good to know. Well, I appreciate you guys watching so very much. I think we got about 10 levels in each. I think around there. 10 levels in each skill during this video. So I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that the whispering and the reading of the wiki has relaxed you a little bit. And that you were able to listen to this in the background or fall asleep or whichever you needed this to help you with. If you liked this type of video, let me know and I will definitely do this again in the future with other gathering draining methods that I need to do, because one, if it helps you guys, then you know that's the best, and then two, these skills are kind of boring for me, so if I don't do something else on the side like what I'm doing now or what I did in this video, then I will usually log out or because I'm falling asleep. So thank you so much for helping me out, and I also hope that I helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night. Sleep well.